Fasos, who is she's a professor of communications and journalism at St. John, and she's going to tell us about Aristotle. Mrs. Fasos.
My baby.
Aristotle is one of the most important founding figures in Western philosophy. He was the first to create a comprehensive system of philosophy, encompassing morality and aesthetics, logic and science, politics and metaphysics. Aristotle was born in Stagira of Chalkidiki in 384 BC. His father, Nicomachos of Macedonia, was court physician to the king Amon of Macedonia, and from this began Aristotle's association with Macedonia, the one and only Macedonia.
Yeah!
Orphaned at a young age, he was raised in Asia Minor by his guardian Proxenos. In 367, he went to Athens, the intellectual center of the world. He joined the academy and studied under Platona for a period of 20 years. After the death of Platona in 347, his nephew, Spefsipo, was chosen as his successor because of Aristotle's divergence from his teachings. At the invitation of his friend Hermia, ruler of Aternea and Assos in Asia Minor, Aristotle left for his court. 3 years later, Hermias was overtaken by the Persians, and Aristotle went to Mytilene. In the meantime, he married Pythiada, niece of the king, and had a daughter of the same name. At the invitation of King Philippa of Macedonia, Aristotle became the tutor of his 13-year-old son Alexandro, world conqueror Alexander the Great. He stayed in Macedonia for 5 years. Upon the death of Philippa, Alexandro succeeded to the kingship. Aristotle thus returned to Athens to see the Platonic school flourishing under Xenocrate. Platonism became the dominant philosophy of Athens. He thus set up his own school at a place called Delikio, where he taught orators and sophists alike. For the next 13 years, he devoted his energies to his teachings and composing his philosophical treatises. At the sudden death of Alexandro in 323, the pro-Macedonian government in Athens was overthrown. A charge of impiety was trumped up against him. To escape prosecution, he fled to Chalkida for the second time. In 322, he complained of a stomach illness and died. Later, the Stagirites moved and buried their body in a city that they called Aristotelion. Aristotle represents an icon of abstruse philosophical thinking. He taught with incredible clarity and superhuman precision. Aristotle is said to have written 150 philosophical treatises, touching on an enormous range of topics, from biology and physics to morals to aesthetics and politics. Whereas Platona located ultimate reality and ideas knowable through reflection and reason, Aristotle saw reality in physical objects, knowable through experience. He could not think in abstract terms like Platona. He believed the world could be understood through observation. That is, knowledge is fundamentally empirical. Where Aristotle differs from others is in his belief that the universe never had a beginning and would never end. In fact, it was eternal, much like his legacy. Thank you.
I can't thank you enough for that beautiful description. Some years ago, I was invited to do a TV program here on the restaurants in Astoria. And they had a beautiful young lady like Sofia. And I couldn't remember my lines. That's what happened to me. Well, Sofia, you have a lot of admirers here. Am I correct, Commissioner?
Yeah!